Well, now that puppy Plum is settling in, we can start getting on with some jobs again. So I've been over to the allotment and collected a load of colour flowers, and we've got a right mix of sizes, shapes and colours, but I'm pretty chuffed with these. So what are we going to do with them all? Well, Chef Glenda has been in the kitchen and she's been making cauliflower cheese to go in the freezer. So one batch is already in the freezer, and here's the second batch. Lovely. So over to the allotment. I thought just to give you a quick update on what's been going on over there. You can see leeks have gone in, the celery is really coming on, and the Cavolo Nero, which was decimated by whitefly, has started to recover. So there's some more leeks. I put 107 leeks in, but the Brussels sprouts are still struggling. Had a massive whitefly attack, and look at this. We've now got cabbage whites getting into our cage somehow, and they've laid eggs and we've got some caterpillars on them. Now, we don't spray, so I've got to find out what's going on. So there's the gap in the net, and there's only one thing for it. I'm sorry, but there were some caterpillars hurt in the making of this film. Squash. And I just smelt of cabbage afterwards. Lovely. So now that I've found where they're coming in, I now need to get my cable ties out and do a quick bit of running repairs. So this is a bit of a tricky job as I'm on my own. I have to thread it through one way, then onto the inside just to tie the cable ties off, but it's done. So what else is going on at the allotment? Well, the pak choy is coming on, the parsley's looking really good, as the beetroot are as well. And look at these fennel, we haven't grown fennel for years. And here's another bed of leeks. And the runner beans and blotty beans, they're looking very healthy, but we're really struggling to get the beans to set because of the heat. How are you getting on? The squashes, they're looking really good. I keep giving them plenty of water. These are the Golden Hubbard, and they're now like as big as my head. They're really coming on nicely. So that should give us a nice winter crop, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. And I don't know what those ones are called. I think those ones are baby bush. I have got it written down somewhere. And then some more staples for winter are Savoy cabbage. These are coming on really well. We've never had such good looking cabbages, so fingers crossed. So this is tea tonight, a quick salad. And comments please, what do these carrots remind you of, ... So anyway, over to some puppy action now. Here's baby Plum, she's playing by herself trying to kill her new moose which someone brought round for her. She's having a great time. And Marth's like, hey, I'm 6, I'm too old for all this. I need a little bit of peace and quiet, bless her heart. But they're still getting on really well, and here they are, they've got their hooves out again, and it's all going quite well until Puppy has some sort of brainwave. What is going on in her head? I have no idea. Not a place I want to be, I don't think. So now she's going to get angry with another toy. And then as quick as it starts, she's back onto the hoof again, and it's all calm. And she can be calm. We had to go to the vets for 12-week injections, and look at her, very chilled. As she was in the shepherd's hut at the end of the garden. Here she is with her big sister, lovely. But then we had a very scary episode. There was a bit of throw hanging out of the washing machine. Big threat to Puppy. What on earth is going on? So as you remember, we got a load of treats in from Groom and Grub, and here's a tripe stick. She's well tucking into that and she loves the tripe stick. We thought we'd try Marth on the collagen roll again, and we made some progress. She's now starting to lick it. Hopefully next week we can move on to chewing it. So the cow hooves seem to be a big favourite at the moment, although the one Martha's got, Plum is very keen to get hold of, but she's being quite good and quite sensible. And in the end she decided she was going to get her own one as well. But then look at this, what a thief. She gets distracted for a split second and she's in and she's nicked it. And Marth's like, oh, where's it gone? So then we move on to the classic tug of war. The only problem we've got here is Martha's supposed to be teaching the puppy, and look, she's letting her win. That is not good. So on to other furry animals. Glenda found this poor little mole walking along the edge of the road. I think they're really struggling to find worms. We're in drought conditions here, and apparently moles can only survive for 2 hours without eating. So Glenda managed to find some mole hills, dug a little bit into it and put him into there, so hopefully he'll survive. And Glenda also wanted to just update you on her flower beds at the allotment. So here's some photos. It's still looking good up here. Starting to dry now, so Glenda's going to do some dry flowers with them. And here's some giant Atlantic poppies which have just been put out, as well as the asters. Can't remember what these are called, but there you go. And Glenda collected some to bring home in a bucket. These are now all in displays in the house. They look absolutely amazing. So one of my last jobs of the week, we've got an old raised bed which had strawberries in, and it's had its day, and I want to move it now to put some compost bins in there. And this was hard as rock, so I had to keep digging it out with the fork, Eventually, I managed to get it all out of there. Several barrow loads. My design of the raised bed area is not great because I can only just get the barrow through and I can't turn it around, but I got there in the end. And to be fair, it started to rot anyway, so it's a good job it came down. It collapsed quite easily. So that's the raised bed out of the way. All I've got to do now is put the compost bins in, lovely, and then just tidy the area up by just dragging the shingle around just to make it look a little bit more attractive. So that now gives us, we've got 6 or 7 compost bins here as well as the allotment. And while I was hard at work, Glenda was just having a little afternoon nap in the sun, lovely. But to be fair to Glenda, she'd been working really hard, making all that cauliflower cheese and also dealing with our onions and garlic. And look at this, how neat is that, all strung up on a piece of wire? Brilliant, thanks Glenda. And here's some that we need to use now. They weren't in quite such good nick. So my last job of the week, one which I really dislike doing, is putting the preservative onto my workshop even. It's quite a big job and it's really hot in our front drive as it's south facing, but it's something that needs to be done. So it needs 2 coats. I'm not very neat around edges, which is why I'm not allowed to decorate in the house. So here I am, got a smaller brush out, but I'm just slapping it on because I just want to get this job finished. So now that's 2 coats on, it's all done, I'm happy. So anyway, onto the homebrew. I've put the elderflower wine into a barrel and I tried a little sip and it tastes like shit. Hopefully it'll get better. So I tried the rhubarb, not much better. So there's only one thing for it. I had to go up the shop and get some Prosecco and red wine. There's a little bit of sloe gin we made. Now that does taste good, so we'll add a little bit of that into the Prosecco. And because we're going to be peckish after a beer or two, here's some crisps and chocolate. So we don't always eat healthily. So anyway, that's enough from us this week. Hope you have a great week, everyone. Take care and we'll see you next week. Bye.